trouble taking notes? This is how I write organized notes. For starters, I am not getting sponsored by Notion, but I love this program. It's so accessible and it's so easy to use once you learn how to. The only reason I'm promoting this is because this is the best note-taking app next to Notability, so honestly, it's such a must if you're taking digital notes like on your computer. Let's start off with my syllabus. This is how I like to do it. I usually just copy and paste down the very important notes into a syllabus for my class on Notion, like assignment due dates and test days, including all the units. I really feel like it gives me a better idea of what to expect for the course in the semester. I don't really have a complicated organization system. I just like having everything in its reserved part. So in bio, I have the equivalent to 2 binders in each part, which contains my lecture notes. And then I have a calendar binder, YouTube binder, homework, papers, and so on. So you guys can see how neatly organized it is. These are my notes from biology class. I take these on Notion during the class of like whatever the teacher's saying and then his flashcards. After, I'm going to write these all in Notability so that I can memorize them better and have a better grasp on it, including drawing all the diagrams. And then I'm going to make flashcards so that I can use it to memorize the important terms, like this, for example. I recommend doing this because it really helps you get a better idea of like what you want to memorize, honestly. So yeah, they're pretty simple. I mean, they're just straight to the point. The bold is the top area of the slide, and then these are just like the things that were in it or things he said, important notes, etc., you know? Like I said before about my note-taking, I also try to take notes in a more simple manner as well. I usually write the important topics, and right underneath, I write a more in-depth into it. For example, I'm talking about atoms, so I write the word atom in bold, and underneath I go into detail, like including its definition and facts about it and other purposes it serves. How I take my notes on my iPad, well, that's honestly like literally the same as I do in physical, so I'll go on that later this video. Overall though, I really don't do anything too crazy or too fancy. I really just try being as simple as I possibly can, because if not, I feel very distracted if I'm really trying to put effort into making my notes look insanely fancy and stuff. Like I say though, you do what you feel best when it comes to note taking. I'm doing what feels best to me. My study method is basically read and rewrite. I feel like that is what helps me actually ingrain the material in my head. Also, questions help a lot too. The more I quiz myself, the better I feel about the material. Flashcards also help too, digital or physical. I really like Quizlet. I've been using it for 5 years to study terms. I used to do the Pomodoro method, but I'm the type that when I get into the flow, it's really hard for me to take a break, so it's really not my cup of tea. I think studying techniques really do depend on what class you're taking though, because, you know, English, I feel like English requires more summary studying techniques with margin note taking techniques. I feel like math requires more of a punch and kill method, kind of like what my calculus teacher taught us to do for calculus 2 in senior year. Overall though, like I always say, just study how you feel is fit best for the topic that you're studying. I mean, like, I usually just do what I think is best for what I'm studying, and then I usually do different things for each separate topic. But like I always say, you know, you do what you feel is best, because every single person has their own unique way of studying. So overall, I do write my iPad notes a lot like my physical notes, but I'm going to go more in detail with my physical notes later in the video. So I'm just here showing what I did for biology. I rewrote a couple of my notes I took during my class's lecture, and I added more details like diagrams. Next, we have a really special sponsorship. Do you ever just wake up in a school morning and just don't know what to wear? Well, don't worry. AELFRIC has like literally the best school clothing ever. First, we're gonna start off with this fringed gradient pinstripe cardigan. It is so cute, aesthetically pleasing, and so like amazing. It's so soft too. Next, we have the graffiti number washed hoodie. It is the most comfortable hoodie ever. So matchable and just adorable. Like, look at that. It just looks so good. It literally looks good with anything. And this is a men's hoodie, by the way. I got this from my boyfriend. Next, we have, and I know you're thinking about it too, it's the Rory Gilmore sweater. They have it, and it's literally so comfy, and it's not even that thick, so it's not overheating all the time. And next, we have the embroidery star hoodie, their iconic hoodie. It is so cute, and when I tell you, this is like literally the most comfy hoodie ever. It's so comfy, and it matches with everything. Overall, their hoodies are like the perfect bagginess, the perfect comfort. They are literally like the most wearable clothing ever. So just hop onto their website, which is like also just so aesthetic. Just look at that. It looks so cool. And just like get what you want and use my code Chris25 for 25% off your order. And yeah, just browse around the store, look for sweatpants, hoodies, and all that, and t-shirts. They have like such cute pieces. Now, I did not buy anything that I'm pressing, but use my code and thank you so much! Okay, I got 2 minutes, but here we go. Notebook brands. I love 5-star notebooks, Campus, and Muji. I'm gonna start off with the best one, which I think is Muji. Muji pages are just, I don't even know, they're fantastic. It's literally so smooth, high quality, soft, and it does not bleed through, so I give them a 5 out of 5 stars. Campus is good. It comes in a more colorful options. However, I did experience a bit of smudging. The notebook quality can easily deteriorate compared to Muji if you don't take care of it. So I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Lastly, 5-star notebooks are great for a budget. However, they do easily bleed and rip. I really don't like their spiral notebooks. I've always felt like they've fallen apart easily for me, but that's just personal. So I'll give that 3 out of 5 stars. Okay, next is stationery. I would start off saying, here's what you feel best to write with. I am just promoting what I felt best to write with. I think the Pilot 0.5 gel pens are amazing for writing, but not as smooth as Muji pens. Oh my god, when I tell you Muji pens are amazing, they are amazing. Obviously, not everyone has access to them because in the United States, they're not really that like local. You can get them more easily online, but shipping's really expensive. However, if you live in Europe, please take advantage of the Mujis that you have around you. I would go because I went to so many Mujis when I went to Europe. For highlighters, I love using mild liners. I really think that they're the best highlighters ever. I love that they have such a wide range of various types of colors, like neon, pastel, soft. They literally have gray and black. Like, it's amazing. I love their highlighters. They can bleed a little bit, but I think most of my experiences, they have not bled at all. Next, we have the big whitewash tape. I know they're not that aesthetic, you know, not too cute. They may not match with like what you're trying to go for, but I really do think that these are the most accessible, inexpensive, and high quality whitewash erasers that you can get. They work so well, and mine has lasted me for almost a whole entire year. And then pencils, I actually really don't use pencils anymore. I would say Pentel's actually a really good brand if you do use pencils with a 0.5 or 0.7 lead. But I don't use pencils anymore, so I don't really have much of a say in this. And in the end, honestly, like I always say, just use what works well for you, what you like using, and what's more inexpensive for you. This is all just an opinion. This is not objective. But overall, yeah, that's what I use for my stationery. And then for note taking, like I say, I do the same thing for digital. I do the important notes, then I put the definitions and the more in-depth explanation underneath. I use colored pens for putting down the very important points, or I highlight important points, but that's mostly it. So overall, thank you guys so much for watching. I love the support. I hope this video finds you well and that it can help you take better notes maybe in the future, help you with your studying problems or study methods and such. So overall, thank you so much for watching, and I love you guys so much.